Composing music is always really stressful because you're kind of putting yourself out there a little bit. I kind of think about my creative triangle being like circus being very physical and very much the body, art being very much the mind and very technical and design, and then music being very much the soul and the heart. And I think exposing that to people is really different than the other two, because the other two are very much aesthetic things, right? That you see them and you can appreciate them visually, but music touches something else. And so when people say that, you know, it sounded really good and it moved me, I feel very emotional about that, and it makes me very happy. My name's Phoenix Pastro. I wrote the music for the Fringe show. I am a passionate artist in all forms. I like a whole bunch of different creative things. A consistent thing with me and creativity is I really like the idea of chaos and refining chaos down. I think people and humans just generally are really, really good at recognizing patterns. And you can take advantage of that in really cool ways. But something that I like doing is totally breaking that, trying to find some chaotic thing, whether it's a sound, when it comes to music, whether it's a sound or a loop, that kind of doesn't make sense, and then you put it into a different context and it does make sense, and then you add patterns to it, and then people go, ah, that makes sense, I totally understand it, and now we're communicating. And it's the same thing with acrobatics as well. I think generally my style of movement is quite chaotic too. I don't like to plan very much, especially coming from a jazz music background. Improvisation has always been really freeing for me and super intuitive. I would say a key motif in my music composition is I tend to have a lot of polyrhythms and polymeters going on at once. So you'll have like groupings of 3 superimposed and groupings of 4. So I think rhythm is probably my favorite part of music, which is really funny. I think it does probably come from Dad being a drummer. I found music to be a real home for me in my own space. Rather than studying it and performing it and doing all of the practical stuff, it was much more internally creative for me. I was always super creative, and I think circus is a really interesting outlet where it's not just like physically intense. There's a really cool blend, and you can choose kind of your own pathways through circus. So that was a big pull for me, especially being a restless child that wants to dip their toes into everything. I'm about to start a uni course, and it's got all to do with how visual arts fits into entertainment, which is kind of perfect for circus. I really like the computer side of things, so the digital realm, the digital space, kind of thinking about movies and video games, and how everything that you see in cinema and everything has to be drawn, and I kind of want to be the person to draw that, which is really fun. Everything that I do influences everything else that I do, and creativity is something that I'm really, really passionate about and something that I like doing for myself.